We've seen different forms of women empowering women as teachers, as mentors, as colleagues working together in studios, then as researchers and archivists and promoters. In all these presentations, women really empower women. How would you describe what kind of support has been or is the most crucial for the development of women's photography? Anybody? Yes, the question. How would you describe what kind of support has been or is the most crucial for the development of women's photography?
I can. For some. Yes, I try to answer, but I think every kind of support is necessary, urgent. I am not surprised, but I see a lot of similarities in Europe and also abroad in this conference, that we have a lot of problems for founding projects, for example. We have in Rome at La Sapienza this problem, but both with Federica Muzzarelli we talk about this, and so I think this kind of different rules inside this field is important. I don't know if there is a crucial point. I think the theory, the thought, the research is crucial for all of us, I think. But also the activities in management and also find fundings is another crucial point to continue to research on this topic.
I think, I don't know which level I should talk about, but perhaps in the 19th century, with the photographers I talked about, it was, of course, essential for them to get support from other women, because, as I said, many male photographers were reluctant to take women assistant. So that kind of solidarity was extremely important for them at the time. Of course, also to have the capital and possibility to open your own studio. But nowadays, if we're talking about the level of where we are now, I think, I mean, for this collection that I was talking about, and how all of this huge collection of women photographers' work is now held in an archive which has, as it aims to promote local history, and I don't see the value of that. I think, and there's no political will to do that. I think they have to be explained why it is important, and that is our job to explain to them why it is important. And I think I have, of course, given my chapter, the paper that I presented today to the archivist that I talked about, that I interviewed and that helped me and so on, and they were very happy about it because they could show it to the head of that institution, and I hope it will help, but you never know. Yeah. So to make, yeah.
Yeah, as the others mentioned, of course, I think you can answer this question on many levels, and historical perspective and contemporary perspective. Yeah. And speaking about Ines Ture, I really think that it shows this kind of power of collaboration and solidarity between women, and also speaking, of course, about these things like childcare and domestic duties. In Latvia, we are also kind of like a little bit late to the game in focusing on this gender aspect and feminism aspect regarding the history of photography. But in the previous years, it's become a big theme, and there's definitely kind of a also network of collaboration and solidarity among photography researchers and photographers working on these themes. And I'm also happy that there is more discussions about things like residencies, where it's possible to take part with the family, or talking about this term of emerging artists, which is until a certain age and which privileges people who are lucky enough to be able to build their career until that age. So so I think it's a combination of these things.
So maybe I can just add, as a case study of Celina Osiecka, she, I think that on one hand, she could really count with the support of her husband, who was an architect, and I think that professionally they showed a lot of support. They were really partners in terms of their professional careers. She would document his architectural maquettes, or what do you call them, models of buildings that he would design. And for example, he designed the logo of the Photoshop and really encouraged her to start her own business. She wasn't really up to it initially, and he pushed her to do that. So I know that they had this very teamwork. There was this teamwork aspect in that family. But on the other hand, there's a lot of, in terms of care work that she had to engage in. I think that she received more support from the side of, female members of her family, such as the grandmothers or her mother and his mother. She had a nanny, so I think that care, that's a huge part of being successful professionally, is having that kind of support. And also, I think it's very important to openly admit that support is there, so as not to make this, not to feed that narrative of it's all a matter of good organization or whatever we hear sometimes. It's not. Someone has to help you with that. But I think another important aspect is just giving a platform to these artists, and I think that it's important to notice that my exhibition happened at a time when both the director of this branch of the museum and the director of the Museum of Warsaw in general were both female, both mothers, which that maybe isn't that important, but it just shows, it goes to show that they had perhaps an interest, or they were sensitive to these topics. Yeah.
Because we are a little bit late with time, maybe a question from the audience. There's one.
That was really lovely. I really enjoyed all of those presentations. Thank you so much. I have a question for you about Ina. When did she pass, and did I miss that in your presentation? Did you have an opportunity to meet her? Was there any recording of her voice? How close could you get to her person?
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. Unfortunately, we found out after doing this research that she had passed away already in 2006. So, she had a terminal illness, so she passed away quite young. So we weren't able to meet her, and very little also has survived of written material or no recordings, but we were able to speak to her husband, Janis, who was also an architect. They were also collaborating in this creative way as well. And her daughter Gerda, who has memories of taking part in these photo shoots with her mother and being there with her. But of course, it's definitely a challenge. And also one thing I have to say is that, of course, my view on this material does have this kind of feminist aspect. But speaking about Ina herself, I don't think that this was something that she used herself at all at that time, and also speaking to some of her collaborators like Iveta Šimkus, who I was able to interview. For her, actually, she has this kind of reaction against, so she's kind of like not very happy that somebody's trying to categorize this as a kind of specifically female viewpoint or having something to say in this aspect of feminism. Yeah. So it's interesting how far I can go to interpret it, and yeah.
One more question, if there is any. Okay, so maybe in the coffee break. Thank you very much.